Forming equations 2. A bus leaves the depot with m people on board. 7 get on at the first stop, third get off at the next stop, 2 more people get on, and there are 20 people left. Explain why the number of people on the bus at the start satisfies the equation 2/3 m plus 7 close brackets plus 2 equals 20. Before I do that, I want to examine this little mnemonic here called BODMAS. And what it stands for brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. And this tells you the order you do things in algebra. So you go brackets is the first thing you've got to work out. Some teachers call this parentheses. Okay, that's where you've got these little curvy lines here and here. Of. Now this could mean power of. Okay, the index of or exponent of, depending on what word you use, or tan of, sine of, cos of. Okay, any special function of. Then you do the division and the multiplication together, and the addition and the subtraction together. The order between these two doesn't matter, but it's important you do this before these two, and it's important you do these two before these two, addition and subtraction. Okay, and that will help you when you see something like this to decide what order to do them in. So that tells you the order to do things in when you're calculating, but when you want to do algebra, you have to do things in the reverse order. It's like getting dressed in the morning. If you put your shirt on and then you put a jumper over the top, you can't take the shirt off first. So similarly, when you do this, you may do the division and multiplication before the addition and subtraction, but when you want to take them off or undo them, you have to take these off first. Addition and subtraction is the last thing you did, you have to take off first. So therefore you undo in that order and you do in that order. So do remember this. Anyway, let's go through and highlight the key pieces of information. We have m people on board when it leaves. 7 get on at the first stop. A third get off at the next stop. 2 more get on, and then there are 20 people left. So let's write that out as an equation. So when it leaves, we have m. At the first stop, we get 7 get on, so m plus 7. And a third get off the next stop. Now the third gets off, that means you've got 2/3 left on. So 2/3 of m plus 7 is left on. Notice I put these brackets in to make sure you know you've got to add 7 before you times 2/3. Hence the thing that brackets is the most important thing when doing. You must do the things inside brackets before doing other operations. Now, a third, 2 more people get on, and we have 20 people left. So that equals 20. So we have shown this equation. Now what we want to do is work out how many are on board at the start. So remember what I said, you use this to determine the order you do things, so you use the opposite, the order to undo them. So what this means is, a good rule of thumb is when working out what to do to work things out, you start on the inside and work your way out. So you've got to add the 7, then times the 2/3 and add the 2. When undoing, we do the opposite. Okay, the opposite order. So we've got to do this, undo this adding 2 first. So take that across, then do the 2/3 because it comes after the brackets. Take that across, and then last of all work out what's inside the brackets. Another quick way actually is to form a data flow chart, and I'll show you that first. It does make this quite simple to work out. If we start off with m, we can see we add 7 to get m plus 7. We then times by 2/3 to get 2/3 m plus 7. Notice I'm using the BODMAS again. Then we're going to add 2 to get 2/3 m plus 7 plus 2. And this is equal to 20. So in undoing, we do the opposite order. We go backwards. So we want to undo the plus 2, so we minus 2 to get 18. We divide by 2/3, which is the same as timesing by 3/2. So we're going to times by 3 over 2. Well, the easiest way for me to do that is to halve this first, which is 9, and times by 3 gives me 27. And then we're going to subtract 7 to find that we started off with 20 people. And that is our answer. Now, that's all very well, but you really need to start getting used to using the laws of algebra properly in equations. If you have got m or the variable just in one part, you can use a flowchart. As soon as you put the variable in two places, you're going to have to use your rules because you can't use your flowchart because you don't know where to start. So let's just compare solving this equation normally. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take away 2 from both sides. So take off 2 from this side, we get 2/3 m plus 7. Take off 2 on the other side, we get 18. Notice I've got the 18 there, and I've got the 2/3 m plus 7. That's my equation. Next, I'm going to divide by 2/3, or as we know, times by 3 over 2. Well, if I undo this, divide by 2/3, that just gets rid of that. Do that to that, and you get 27. Note, in my equation, these things match up with my flowchart. And last but not least, I'm going to subtract 7 from this side, so I'll subtract 7 from this side. And you see that I get the same answer.